Hey everyone, so welcome to the webinar. I hope everyone had a great day. So yeah, it's something a bit different tonight. I don't normally actively promote other softwares or businesses, but this is something that I've found that I really like. So anyone that doesn't know who I am, I'm Josh from JR Marketing Group. I've been doing marketing online for 17 years. I've been helping small business for the last 10 years, especially dentists, get found on the internet. So late last year, I actually found this particular software. I saw companies in the UK using it, and I actually reached out to them and signed up and started using it so that I could test it. Over the last 3 or 4 months, I've got used to it, found out how much I love it and everything else. So I'm ready to show other people and be able to share it with you guys. So tonight we've got Warwick, who is the Australian manager of Enquiry Bot. So he's been kind enough to offer to come on and give you guys a demo, show you all the features and everything, and show you how it can increase inquiries on your website. So what we have done as well is Warwick's been kindly enough to give me a special deal that I can offer at the end of it as well, so that if anyone wants to sign up, we can offer that at the end as well. So what I'll do is I'll invite Warwick to chat, and I'll mute myself and hide away for a while. If you have any questions at any stage, just ask away, and I'll ask Warwick at the end of it. Before we tell you about any costs, we can ask any questions. But if you need anything else, yeah, ask away, and happy to help. But we'll welcome Warwick and let him take the show for a while.
Hey guys, thanks again, Josh, for the introduction. Let's get this on the go. As Josh mentioned, Enquiry Bot is a web-based tool that he's been using, around since the end of last year after getting in contact with us, and we are seeing some, remarkable results coming mostly out of the UK at the moment. That's only because Enquiry Bot's not been in Australia for all too long, but we thought it's a great opportunity to introduce you to it more broadly. So, just to try and set the scene on where Enquiry Bot fits into your business, we want to sort of just go through a few steps. And as business owners, you probably know that to run a business effectively these days, it's really a multitude of things and really a web of things at times, managing the day-to-day, building or managing your website, managing and maintaining your clients or your patients, but and also the planning and reporting that goes on behind the scenes. Where Enquiry Bot really sits within the world of sales and marketing, and that's where we're going to be focusing on today. I suppose no matter what type of business you're in, we can honestly say that sales and marketing, or marketing and sales, is important to a business. And the following is true. It doesn't really matter which one comes first today, and given the technology that's available, they should always be on and working together. The following 4 areas of terminology are important to these two parts of your business. A CRM, which you may have heard of, or otherwise known as a customer relationship tool. Marketing automation, which has really come to the fore over the last 8 to 10 years. Leads and call to actions. These are 2 areas that you've likely heard over time. And really quickly, on the basis of CRMs, in essence, the role of a CRM and your current tools that you've got internally at the moment probably house this sort of information anyway. But the essence of that of a CRM is really to at times hold deep and critical information on your clients, on your patients, and your relationship, the business relationship you hold with those people. The marketing automation side of things is, in essence, the ability or the ability for you to actually, help you generate more leads, drive more sales, and optimize your digital spend. Once people are actually coming to your website, interacting with it, the technology available today allows you to always be on 24/7 communicating with those. You're probably doing these areas, and really, if you're not looking to be driving people towards your site now, well, I would definitely recommend getting onto it. But ultimately, what the aim of this is to generate more leads to your site. And here's a typical example of how that works. Someone is doing a search on dental practices near them. They get a result. They're looking at it on their website, and ultimately the lead is someone who's actually showing an interest in your dental practice. So, once they get on the site, we're looking to have a call to action, what we call a call to action in the industry. And that's really around, making them, it's a tactic designed to encourage someone to actually perform an action. And therefore, once they perform that action, it'll create a trigger. So in this case, I've just highlighted the idea of, booking a free consultation or booking an appointment. They're all considered call to actions. Here's a bit of a scary map. This map is used in the world of sales and marketing. This is a list of what we call the Martech 5000, or these days it's actually up to about 8,000 different bits of technology that as a business owner, you need to understand and sift through to understand what your business might need to make you more competitive online. So that's all areas. It breaks down between advertising, content and experience, social and relationships, e-commerce, data, and also ongoing management of all those tools. The area of Enquiry Bot is focused on the area of CRM technology, and that's as well quite significant. You're looking at over 700 different options out there in the marketplace. It can become quite confusing. Then you've got the marketing technology, the actual marketing automation, which I've sort of touched on. A lot of the time, these two bits of technology sit in silos and aren't necessarily working together all the time. It is possible to absolutely have those two areas. They're key to the technology working properly and working together, and it is possible to have that in place. I suppose from there, you've got to ask yourself, where do you start? And ultimately, we look at three areas. We would suggest you look at, to review your website's effectiveness. Do you know if it's performing? Are you getting lots of visitors per month? Do you actually know how many visitors you're getting per month? Are they simply inquiring, or are they just looking around? The key part of anything that I can leave this with you today is that improving your data capture. It's on average 2% of all website visitors will only leave an inquiry with your website. Don't worry about what they convert to, whether they convert to a sale or not. It's just 2% will actually leave. Leave an inquiry. That means that 98% of people that are coming to your site are leaving without doing anything. It's a significant amount, and it's something that you really need to work on to ensure that your website's engaging and it's proving beneficial to your business. The third part is really around how are you managing any leads that are coming in through your business at the moment, whether it be through online presence or physically, if they're just stepping in off the street. How are you managing those leads? And, usually we hear a lot of people managing it through spreadsheets, through emails, through Post-it notes, however they can find a way to do it. But often, a lot might get lost in translation. And look, the final part is really, do you actually know how many of the people who inquire convert to a sale? These are metrics that as a business owner, you probably really want to know. You've invested in an online presence, and knowing how many of those inquiries that are coming through are actually converting is just key to knowing how the business is performing. So finally, on this area of tonight, the key takeaways that I'd like you to enjoy are really, we all know that running a business is a web of responsibility. But if you're going to engage and invest in the world of modern marketing and sales, you really need it working together 24/7. You want to be able to create leads through better engagement. Make sure that when people are actually coming onto your site, that they're at least leaving an inquiry. We obviously would rather than just book, but ultimately, if they don't want to book, they can at least leave an inquiry so you can follow them up at your next chance. Introducing measurable call to actions, actually understanding that when someone clicks on a button on your website, that is going to trigger an automation of sorts, whether it be just an email response or downloading maybe some information on your practice, whatever it may be. You need to know that you can measure that and see what people are actually doing. getting started. Just get out there and get started. Review your site, improve your data capture, and introduce some processes that actually help you manage some of these things. It's best you start off doing something than doing nothing. And without any further ado, I want to introduce you to Enquiry Bot, what we're here for, because we are confident, we are already seeing the results that ensure that Enquiry Bot is a tool that really does manage a lot of what I've just highlighted, and can help you not only generate leads from your website, but actually help you move them through the process of ensuring that they become a new patient. So I'm just going to flick screens for just 1 second so I can actually jump onto the demo, and then we will walk through. So look, essentially, given what I've just gone through to set the scene, people have done their search, you're already doing your advertising and what have you, and they've landed on your website, and they're greeted with what you see before you. This is a fictitious website or a fictional website. But it's ultimately to give you a good understanding of what this might look like. You're greeted here, and often people will just simply look around and may click on a few buttons and what have you. And often we see people contact us forms or what have you at the bottom of the website, or there might be a button up here where it says contact us or what have you. Well, what we see Enquiry Bot doing is engaging people as they come onto the website with this little bot. And although bots have been around for a little while, this bot's got a big difference. So you come on board here as a prospect, and you're welcomed automatically in a more personable way, with a list of areas of your website that are designed to showcase those parts of your business you want people to look at. So, we sort of know that Invisalign is something that's quite popular within the industry. So, I'm actually here to book an Invisalign consultation. So I'm going to click on the bot, click on that option. And what you're seeing here is a little bit more engaging, a bit more fun. We've got an image that pops up, and it starts to really try to talk to you. Now, the main purpose of the bot is simply to try and capture those initial details. So it very quickly wants to ask me what my full name is, which I'm going to do. And Josh, just for your benefit, I'm going to use you as a guinea pig, and I'm going to type in your name. And the bot is clever enough that it can actually pick your first name out of the full name, which is great. It comes up here, it's doing a little bit of promotion of a particular piece of machinery. I'm going to say, what, I haven't seen these machines before. And it really is just designed to give you a little bit more engagement. Then it will actually give you the option of choosing a date that might accommodate the practice might be able to accommodate you for your Invisalign consultation. So I'm going to choose Friday the 23rd. And what basically is happening right now is that a lot of this data is starting to be collected in the back end, which we'll be going into in a second. I'm happy for a morning consultation. And here we're actually asking about privacy and in relation to the data being collected. And I'm absolutely happy to agree that the privacy policy, we adhere to it. And then asking me for an email address. So Josh, I'm going to again use your email address as a test. And what this is going to do is, with that email address, it's actually going to send a responder to Josh. So I'm going to just put in a fictitious number now. Notification come out of my inbox, and I'm actually, it gives me the option here that I can upload a photo. Which I'm going to do. So it'll actually ask me to upload an existing photo, which I'm going to do, and one that I prepared earlier. Again, allowing a little bit more engagement, a bit of a nicer experience. At this moment, I'm not going to add any more detail. I'm just happy to say thank you. And the engagement, the inquiry is over and done with within a matter of, a minute or so. Ultimately, everything you've just seen there is completely customizable to your business. So what's happened now? Well, we're going to move away from there, and I'm going to open up my inbox, which you can now see. and I've got a notification here. So this, if you're working, you're within the actual practice, your frontline staff, your front of house staff are actually going to get this notification, and it will give a bit of high level on who the inquiry is from, and then you've got your button here that says View Inquiry. What happens then is this actually opens up into what we call our CRM and sales management backend tool. So first and foremost, what you're seeing before you is a capture of the entire conversation that's just happened online. Everything in white is the bot talking to the prospect, and everything in yellow is the prospect's answers. Depending on the answer they give will depend on the path they will be taken down within the bot. So you can, as a frontline staff, when you're getting these notifications in your inbox, you can actually review these in detail before contacting that person back. Within that conversation, you do have the ability to respond to these people, right? So in here, this is an emailing capability where you can set your subject heading to "Thanks for your inquiry." And you can quite simply say, "Hi, Josh, good to chat, confirming your appointment on the 23rd of April, 2021. Okay. And if I press send, it will now send an email off to Josh. Up here, you can see it just moving through, and that email will actually be captured within that same line. Okay. So from there, you can actually have notes. You can create notes. Again, this is all around the management of this particular inquiry. You can set notes, so I can actually pass this on to someone within the practice. Spoke with Josh. Booked in 23 April at 10 a.m. Great. I'm actually going to add a task to follow up so I can send a reminder. I want this person to make sure that on that day, they're going to get a reminder at 9 a.m. day of, and it's been assigned to Adam, and save. My apologies. I just need to, there we go. There we go, and save. So you can select the actual task type, and this will then pop up in the taskbar here, and that person will get a notification. From here, they can actually respond back. Thanks, Warwick. Got it. And suddenly you're getting yourself a complete summary of what's going on with one particular inquiry that's come through. Over here, you've got what we call our stage management. So where are people actually at within the stage of becoming an inquiry through to becoming a lead to becoming an actual patient? They automatically come in as new inquiries, and then you can set this that basically fits your business. So right here, you've got new inquiries, contacted, one lost, and data capture, which is where the information is being stored. You can actually set up products here. So I've set up a one-time Invisalign consultation. This will then add a actual value associated to it. Again, you can customize that completely to your own liking. And you can change the person who owns it, pass it on to another part of the business. You can actually add the source from where that particular inquiry came from originally. So it might have come from a Facebook ad or a Google ad or what have you. You can select that, and it will actually save that in from a reporting perspective. Josh, just over to you. Could you just confirm you got that email from us, please?
Yep, I received 2 emails. So I received the first one that said, thank you for your inquiry. A member of our team will be in touch. In the meantime, would you like to try our Smile Assessment app? And then we look forward to speaking to you soon. And then I received the next one that you sent that said, thanks for your inquiry, confirming your appointment on that date.
Great, wonderful, and that's a really simple example. The automation behind that email going out after the inquiry is really just letting people know that they've been heard and that someone is going to contact them accordingly. It may well be that you want to set up a particular time limit for your staff to contact people, and therefore your emails will actually you can then put the subject headings on, letting them know they'll be contacted within X amount of time. So that gives you a bit of an insight, and I suppose what this is starting to do is building out the database of your incoming leads, so you can start to communicate with them on a regular basis. So as we go into here, we walk into into what we call the sales pipeline, and you'll have to just excuse me here, but this is a relatively new demo that we've created, so there's not a lot of data in here, but ultimately the pipeline has been set up with 4 different areas or stages, if you will. And as the inquiry comes in, it becomes a new inquiry, and then as you move them through the inquiry, you can quite simply just drag and drop them into that. So, as a new inquiry comes through, that first step is that someone's going to contact them, and then they can say, yep, they've contacted them. Now, you may well make a decision right there and then that they've been one, they're coming in for an Invisalign consultation. Therefore, you can move them straight to one. And, or if they're not interested, based on whatever it might be, you can move them into here. And it actually gives you the option to put what the reason for no or what have you. So, it might be too expensive. At least then you've got an understanding. You can start to report on it, and so on. So I'll just stop there. Has anyone got any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. I've just seen.
So we have a question in there from Hassan about if someone wants to urgently talk to a doctor. Yep.
So, look, at the end of the day, the bot is not a live tool. It's not designed to be a live tool with someone sitting there monitoring the actual bot and responding. These are all automated messages. The messages will come through directly to whoever it is that is monitoring or managing the details coming through. So you can set it up and have it send based on the inquiry. So you might have an option there for someone to choose, is it an emergency? And if they select yes, then the actual message will be sent directly to the doctor, for example, who will then look to pick that up as soon as possible. At the same time, it might actually send it off to one of the staff on front desk, who is then going to go and urgently talk to the doctor. So these things can be worked out. It is customizable. What I'm showing to you here is an indicative look of how it could work, and so on. But just to be clear, this bot is not managed by a person on the spot who's typing back. There's a couple of reasons for that. We find that the cost to actually have someone managing it is expensive, but also some of the challenges that come along with the language barriers of where those bots are being managed or maintained from can cause concern. It also means that from an automated perspective, this bot is on and it's always working 24/7. Doesn't matter what time of the day. There's going to be a response, and then someone can pick it up in hours that are more suitable. So thanks for your question, Hassan. Appreciate it. Hopefully I've answered it. So the other part of this particular area that I just want to touch on is that there is a value associated to each and every card or each and every contact. And that value then gets assigned under each area of the stage. So as you drag them through, if you just see here, sorry, I've just accidentally clicked that. As you see here, you got $7,500 sitting under new contacted them, and I'm going to drag them through to contact. And that value is now worth $7,500, and it's gone to zero in new inquiries. The good thing is I really want to move them into one more often than not. and it's now moved to, I've got 2 winnings there, $15,000. So from a reporting perspective, from a reporting perspective, you can start to really see where, your opportunities or your leads are lying in that process. We really want to see this clear more often than not, and we want to see this busy, and we want to see lots of these filled up. So from the reporting side of things, I'm actually just going to jump onto, this is a report, what a report structure looks like. But for the sake of wanting to just show you one that's actually live, I'm going to just take you into an existing client. Just bear with me for 1 second while I do that. So this particular client is in the world of osteo and chiropractic business. They've been with us since about October last year. Where the reporting really starts to come into its own is its ability to break down the inquiries that you're getting through your website that you probably don't even know you're getting, and these are some of the questions I was sort of asking in the initial part. Do you actually know how many inquiries you're getting? Do you actually know how many people are coming through to your website? Enquiry Bot, once it's on your site, starts to tell you all of this. We understand that Google Analytics has some of these things associated to it, but ultimately you're still a finger in the air with how many people are coming to your site and how many people are actually converting into a sale. And that's where you really start to see the big benefits in a tool like Enquiry Bot. So in this case, they've had over 1,100 bot opens, which basically means in this period of time between the 12th of the 10th, 2020 and today, they've had over 1,100 visitors to their site. The two numbers that I just wanted to highlight in this demo is that this one, because you actually start to see how busy your site is, and this one over here, the inquiries of 144. They've had a 13% hit rate since October of inquiries coming through. Now we bring that back to the 2% I mentioned before. That's more than 6 times the average of inquiries coming through. So the more you start to do the numbers, the more inquiries you're coming through, the more leads you're going to generate, the more business you hope will see coming through the door. Some of the cool things that we can show you is around what time of day people are actually accessing your bot or your website. So, in this case, we've got 12 to 3 a.m., 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Goes a bit flat during this time. Maybe during the day is not the best time, but then it starts to pick up again at night time when people are probably sitting at home and thinking about when they're going to get that back fixed. From the sales pipeline and the stages I was just talking about, touching on before, if you break this down, you've got new inquiries. You've got 7 currently sitting in stage 1, 73 that have been moved to contacted. We've actually got 41 sitting in consultation booked, which is great. And they've chose as part of their stages to show when they've actually been completed. So it starts to give you that clear breakdown as a business owner that you can see where you've got, where you've got maybe some blockages in the process to make sure these people are being moved through and making sure that they're becoming patients. For a bit of competitiveness, you can actually start to assign associated value to each of the people or the users within the platform. So you can actually start to see, whether they're, what their conversion rate is like. And maybe there's at times you need to give them a little bit of training or what have you to improve their ability to convert. Down here on the left, you can see that people are accessing it via, we've got 41% accessing via the phone, 56 by the desktop, which is interesting. I mean, I suppose given where things are at today, you'd expect a bit more on the phone, but look, it's not a bad distribution there, but very little on the tablet. Here you've got the various URLs that people are accessing the bot from, and this will break it down by page on your site, and so you can really start to see what pages they're looking at and where they're actually engaging with the bot. And then you've got the refer URLs, where from an investment point of view, you can actually start to see where people are coming in from, how they're finding you, and what's working and what isn't. So you'll start to see your Facebooks, your Instagrams, and also your search engines and so on and so forth. So the reporting is as you see it, that's a live example, and our reporting is only going to get deeper. So that's Enquiry Bot in a nutshell. Really quickly, just to go back here, it also covers off the ability to add add an inquiry manually. And ultimately, you can do that through the plus button, and you're simply, so if someone comes in off the street, you've also got the offline perspective where you can just put the details in and away you go. So you just then go through the details. I'm not going to fill it all out now, but basically you go through all the details and you can add them accordingly. Okay, so that's the demo. If there's any questions, otherwise I'll just finish off with the presentation. At the moment, Enquiry Bot has over 360 clients globally in the UK. We've got more than 100 dentists on board in the UK. We've got 60 plus here in Australia, and we're growing. We have seen huge numbers around the performance of Enquiry Bot. It covers most service-based industries, so it's not just for dental, but we can basically customize it as you need to. Here's just two examples: Kringle Dental in Wagga Wagga and Hyde Dental Implants in Melbourne. They've been some recent clients we've had come on board, and feel free to go on and have a bit of a look at their websites. So without further ado, I hope you've enjoyed that. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of insight, and if you've got any questions, happy to stay online to answer them. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, guys. So thanks for that, Warwick. So I will mute you in a second. If there's any questions that come through, I'll unmute you. But yeah, on the Hassan side, yeah, hey mate, it's totally customizable. So it really is done according to your practice. It's not something that's out of the box and everything else. The guys actually build this according to your practice, what services you want to focus on, what you want to promote, the way you want to talk to your clients and deal with it is really the key to it. And same with the emails, the autoresponders, everything like that can be totally set up according to how you want it. Les has asked there, Warwick, what sort of time frame do you think is needed to train staff in it?
Yeah, look, good question, Leslie, and I think that's a really important one as well. Time frame is really it's an ongoing thing. So we ultimately partnering with a business like Josh's, they can help you continue that training part of it. But we give you not only a live training session, but you've always got access to information available via a website, and that includes an initial onboarding process that we have in play. But it's an ongoing. So there's no real time frame as such. I think training can be evolving as such, but it is such an intuitive tool that your staff really should pick up on it quite quickly. And our suggestion just on that is that you would look to get, I suppose, someone within the business who knows the tool well. And then if people are coming and going or what have you, they can train them up. Alternatively, you can always obviously fall back on Josh and his team to help you do that. A follow-up question I think I've just seen there, Josh, from Leslie.
Yeah, it was just around the time frame it takes to actually set it up. Yep.
Look, we aim for a 72-hour turnaround. Ultimately, we will work through with you. We technically can have it set up within 48 hours, but we also, our experience tells us that, businesses like to understand what's going on and what have you, and that's totally fine. But we basically can have it done within 48 hours technically and 72 hours with yourself, and we'll walk you all the way through it.
Awesome. So I think that's the main questions for that. I'll bring up my other screen and just mute you for now, Warwick, and finish off the presentation. The main thing that everyone will probably want to know is the cost of it. So there is a monthly cost involved with it to maintain it and keep the software going. So it is $397 a month with a setup cost of $497. there is no contract. They don't lock you into any contract, and they do get it set up very quickly with it. So it is something good. Warwick has said that for the first 8 people that sign up after the webinar, we'll waive the setup fees and they'll get it set up for free. So you only have the monthly cost. And as I said, there's no contracts and everything in, and that they still have their guarantees with that they'll increase the inquiries and everything like that. So there's lots there and lots of benefit. And I hope people start to see the benefits. As a marketing guy, the reason why I'm loving it is because I can do a lot on the marketing side to get the traffic to the website. But obviously there's always so many people that go to the website and they don't inquire or they don't do something. So the more people that we can actually get inquiring, one, it makes me look better because obviously the marketing looks better because we're getting that traffic already. But two, the bottom line, you're actually going to make more money because we're going to convert more people, and you're going to have a lot more information about those people, and they're going to be better types of conversions. So if anyone does want to get involved, sign up for it. If you have any questions, most people should have my details. If not, josh@jrmg.com.au. If you want to get started with it, just send me an email, say that you want to get started. I'll forward your info to Warwick, and he'll contact you with the questions that need. But if you have any questions on it, just shoot me through questions as well. Everyone knows how to reach me, but if not, that's my email on the screen. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. It's been good. I hope I'll be able to do a few more of these webinars where if I find some software or something that can help, that I'll be able to share with you, because it is something that I think can be beneficial. I think it's a value add for everyone. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope everyone has a good night, and I will talk to you soon.